What happens with me is I get every week I get a request from somebody for some form of coaching, which usually ends up having in the thread, I don't have any adults to talk to.
Well, and Steve, I just went to your answer about not having adults to talk to about product management.
Yeah.
So you said I have a number of coaching experiences where the product leaders say, I just don't have any adults to talk to about product management. You're able to share your experiences, but these leaders really need a network of similar folks. And that's a key thing. You're an educator, you're a coach, right? You're not a true peer to these people, right? You're an adult for them to talk to, but finding people who were in the same situation. I think that's one of the things that resonated when we had that Saturday morning calls was each of us were trainers, coaches, consultants, so sort of not employees of a company in product management, but people helping companies with product management. So I think that's a key thing to look at. And I referenced the call in my answer. John, if I knew you were going to be on the call, I would not have put some other former pragmatic marketing instructors and alumni because you would have been listed by name, but I didn't know, John Gatrell, you were going to be.
I'm all good. There's no offense. In fact, the more I can just kind of slink around and I'm good. Hey, speaking of slinking, I actually am doing this chief product officer role, and the CEO put something on my calendar, so I wish I could stay the whole thing. But this is great, and you're doing it every week?
Almost every Friday. Holidays off.
All right, I've got a block on my calendar.
Steve didn't want to do it on Christmas. I'm like, come on, Steve, it's Christmas. It could be a very special topic.
And I was available. And I was
apparently my Outlook blocks get ignored by my CEO, but it's one of those founder CEO things. You know what I'm talking about.
We had that, John.
He's got product ideas. He's got product ideas.
John and I had that conversation just a couple weeks ago.
Oh dear.
Yeah, nothing better than an afternoon meeting on Friday. Good job, boss.
John Gatrell, thank you so much for being here. I hope this experience has been good enough. We can get you coming back because you added a great voice and life to this.
So if this is the vibe, I'm back, but I can only be like 2 minutes late.
All right, you go.
Thank you all much. Jason, John, nice to meet you. And John, I think I met you before at some social stuff.
I think it's some Atlanta things. Yeah.
Yep. All right, y'all be good.
Thanks,
Cheers.
John.
Take care.
So, I think I covered in my answer, that social aspect. We're going through similar things. We shared ideas. When I've done a lot of peer network stuff. I consulted for a peer network company that did peer networks for C-suite Global 1000. Like if you're the head of marketing for GE Healthcare, you weren't eligible because you weren't the chief marketing officer for GE. Tony Hsieh, may he rest in peace, was a member. He couldn't be a member of the CEO group because he reported to Jeff Bezos, right? And I did some stuff in the HR space. I'm a member of Vistage. And when I talk to the people, here's the three things that they would often say. It's about an outside perspective, right? It's about, I'm working on an idea. I'm thinking about something. I want somebody's outside perspective. They want access.
I want to ruin your story and interrupt you.
It wasn't a story.
I'm reminded of a grouping of instructors got together. John may have been in that meeting too. And I brought up this query, like I've always talked about this concept in this way. But let's step back for a second. I mean, should we really be talking about it this way? And it was uncanny that no one in this conversation could open their minds to a new idea. And what happens, one of the instructors said, well, one of the instructors that I trained said, well, here's the way I teach it, and then proceeded to teach it for like 3 to 5 minutes, word for word, the way I taught him to teach it. And in terms of like in this case, a peer network, I still don't have people in this particular grouping who had curiosity and passion. Well, they had passion about let's don't change anything because it will ruin my story, right?
Yeah.
And so the path you were on of being able to have new ideas introduced into the community is a powerful one. I mean, if everybody agrees with everybody on everything, then why are we meeting?
Well, and that's, you know, when talking to executives, that's one of the key things is like, I want outside perspective on things I'm working on. How is Google doing it? How is, you know, somebody else handling these types of issues? So it's that outside perspective. I can share, I can learn the same stuff. I could get access to new ideas, which is part of the outside perspective, but they, you know, they clearly delineated, you know, it's outside perspective, it's new ideas and insights, and it's a trusted support system, right? And I think the key thing is to help them grow. Was I put that in the one section. I think this is right. It's not, it's that 10, 20, whatever percent of people who are passionate about this and who do want to grow, whether that is hierarchically up in the organization or just grow with themselves. That's who are the people. And now we can start building a persona, right? Around who would be the right people for a true peer network. It's the people who have that. And so it's, you know, you need to find some like-minded people who are all curious and all passionate, empathetic, and that type
But
of
have
stuff.
different experiences than you're in.
Exactly, and different insights. Because, you know, you give everybody, you know, start them at the same point, give them two, 3, 4 different careers. Each of them is going to have a different experience that they can bring to the table for a more diverse conversation.
You know, and I was watching a webinar recently, and it became clear to me that the speaker had only worked one place. Because he would say, you know, at company name, we do this. At company name, we do that. At company name, we do the other thing. And I'm like, dude, you have one experience and you're extrapolating that to best practices of the industry.
So my changing jobs every 18 months helped me have more diversity of thought.
It does indeed. It does.
Well, I will say that it was something that one of the reasons I did that, I was chasing people to learn from. When I'm hired by people who I can't learn from, I get bored.
Antsy, yeah.
I've heard that described as the difference between having 20 years of experience or having 1 year of experience repeated 20 times.
It's a brilliant one. I
Yeah.
love that.